Go. Hey everyone, welcome to the KetoNexpress Summit. Today we're here with Denice Conley and from Keto Fat to Fit.
Yes,
welcome.
hello.
Yes, and so she has a great following over on Instagram, but let me introduce her real quickly. So she is a mother of 2 little boys, and she decided to make a change in her life. She's always struggled with her weight and tried just about every weight loss plan under the sun. But after she sustained an injury that led to her heaviest weight ever, she decided it was time to make this happen. And she decided to try a keto diet and hasn't looked back. And she found along the way that what really helped her was having other people on this journey with her. And so she started documenting her results and the journey that she was on. And now she has built a huge following, and she loves to educate and to share about keto with her Instagram following. So welcome, Denice.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Can you tell us more about your keto journey, and how did you discover a ketogenic diet, and what made you say this is the one?
Okay. Well, I've always, as you said, I've always kind of struggled with my weight. I've tried just about every diet that you could possibly think of, never with much success. My husband did just a general low carb for a couple of years and lost a bunch of weight that way. And I would try kind of here and there and do it, but quite honestly, I really love carbs. I could live on just like pasta and rice and potatoes and everything. And so I never really found anything that worked. And then I had an injury that required 2 surgeries and about 10 months where I couldn't walk. I couldn't put any weight on my leg. And I basically sat around and kind of ate my feelings because it was really rough.
Yeah.
And in that, I then gained like almost 50 pounds. And I got to a point where I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I was released from my doctor, and about a month later, which just happened to be about a week before my 1-year anniversary of the injury, I re-injured it. And on the way to the hospital, I told myself, I was like, that's it. Like, something's got to go. Something has to change.
Yeah.
I don't like where I am. So I had done some research in all of my kind of time sitting around, and I'm a big foodie. I like food. I want to eat food that tastes good. And in that time, I found a lot of stuff about keto and low carb, high fat, and it was like, you know what, I'm going to try. So the day after I heard it hurt my ankle a second time, I decided I was going to go all in, and I really haven't looked back since. I get to eat food that tastes good, and I don't feel like I'm on a diet. It's the only thing that's ever worked. Previously, the most successful I'd ever been was like maybe 12 pounds with the diet, and that was it. And then I would stall and nothing would happen. And I've been doing this for over a year. About a year and a half, and I love it.
So obviously there's so many things in a ketogenic diet, but what's the difference between this and other things you've tried?
I think it's getting to eat food that tastes good. It's not, you get a plain chicken breast and that's it. It's, eating things with flavor and having options when I go out to eat. We eat out more than we probably should. I like to go out with my girlfriends and have food that tastes good. And when I go out, I don't want to be like, I just want a salad and with some grilled chicken on it and no dressing and no cheese. Instead, I get to go and eat good stuff. So
Awesome. Okay. And so what's been the hardest thing about it for you?
The hardest thing has probably been social situations. Just because a lot of times social situations are centered around carbs. So that's when you have to be the most disciplined. I will say part of my, what I believe and what I kind of try to tell people when they ask for advice is you don't have to be perfect all the time. We're not aiming for perfection. You're aiming for progress. So if you go and, you have a few bites of something, then that's okay, but get back on track tomorrow. So, I am the type of person, I don't I don't like the whole, like, I cheated thing. Instead, I like to say, look, I made a conscious decision. I indulged in some garbage and it was delicious. And tomorrow I'm going to be right back on track. So that's probably been kind of the hardest part.
Well, that's a much healthier mindset around the whole diet thing anyways, right? Instead of using it as something we're punishing ourselves with, why not change the mindset around it?
To me, it's more of a lifestyle change. I'm not the type of person that is like, I will never eat another gram of sugar or wheat or anything in my entire life, just because I don't think that that's realistic. You know, when I go on vacation, I'm going to go and I'm going to enjoy myself and eat all sorts of stuff that's awful for me. And as soon as I get back, I'm back on track. And I notice that I feel better when I eat that way. I don't feel great when I eat carbs and all the stuff that's bad for you. But sometimes the best way for me to keep on track is I'm going to indulge, and it's going to taste good in the moment. I'm probably going to regret it in a while, but that's real life. So.
Right. Well, and that's what I love about you. And I think it's what your audience loves about you too, is that you're real with this, and that you're sharing that this is just a process that we're all on, right? There's different ways to do keto, and you can do it and from wherever you're at, and adopt a ketogenic lifestyle and do it the way that you want to do it, as long as you're following that program. The more times than you're not, you're going to get some results.
Exactly. Yeah. I kind of tell myself a lot of times that it's the whole 80-20, 80% of the time I'm going to be really, really good, but it's okay if sometimes I'm not. And that's real. So
yeah, love it. Okay. Very cool. All right. So, so you shared kind of how, when you started your journey, you found that it was really helpful for you to have a support. And so now you create that support network for other people on a ketogenic diet. So what's the most rewarding thing about that for you?
I think probably just, I get a lot of private messages of people that are like, I really didn't think that it was possible for me to make a change. And sometimes it's about losing weight. Sometimes it's just about feeling better and, getting rid of that brain fog and being happy again. And I get a lot of messages that people are like, I didn't think I could. And you give me so many ideas that now I can. Yeah. So it's really nice to hear that.
Awesome. Love it. So you're giving people hope and helping them get some results as well. What are some of the biggest breakthroughs, the health breakthroughs that you see your audience having on a ketogenic diet?
A lot of people get rid of, like I said, the brain fog. You can think clearer, you sleep better. You're just kind of overall happier. A lot of GI issues tend to go away. Skin issues tend to go away. Just a general overall happiness and healthiness. A lot of people, I know their labs get better. So, they used to be on all these medications, and now everything is controlled just by their diet, and they're not on high blood pressure medications and all sorts of crazy meds that you have to take every day. So
yeah, awesome. Gives people the freedom to take back control of their health in so many ways, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. All right. So what are some of your best tips for making keto a lifestyle and to staying consistent and to having that commitment, I guess?
I think to think of it as a lifestyle change, I try to get away from the whole that it's a diet, because to me, a diet is this short-term thing that once you get there, you're going to stop. And usually you go back to your old ways, and that got you where you were to begin with. So to think of it as a lifestyle change and give yourself the grace to mess up and screw up, and that's okay. I get a lot of people that ask, what's your number one piece of advice? What do I do if I have to go to this thing or that, and I need to go eat my mother-in-law's food and she's going to be offended if I don't? And, to that, like, well, then go eat it, but then get back on track again. It doesn't have to be
portion, right? Yeah,
exactly. Eat just enough, get your, few bites in, be really good the rest of the time. I'm lucky that I tend to be able to indulge a little more. Then I know some people, you know, if they have one bite of something, it kicks them straight out of ketosis and they can tell. I tend to be able to indulge a little bit more without that happening. So I can, you know, go out with my girlfriends and we can split. I can have a few bites of a brownie and I'll be okay. But even there are definitely times that it does kick me out and I get right back on the next day. And just give yourself that grace to know that you don't have to be perfect all the time.
Okay. Awesome. That's good. What other tips and advice do you have for living a keto lifestyle? What are some things that you implement in your own life and your routine and the patterns that you follow that help you be successful?
I really listen to my body. I know a lot of people do intermittent fasting. Some people don't. There's been plenty of controversy with that here and there. I listen to my body. If I wake up and I'm not hungry, I don't eat. You know, just because society says that you have to eat breakfast at 8 a.m. and then eat another meal at noon doesn't mean that that's what your body needs. So if I wake up and I'm not hungry until 1 o'clock, then technically I've intermittent fasted until then. But if I wake up hungry, I'm not going to punish myself and be starving. Then I eat a big hearty breakfast. Same thing goes if at night, if I'm not hungry in your typical dinner time, then I don't eat dinner. And so I like to be flexible with it, listen to my body. If there are things that don't have the most perfect keto ingredients, but their carbs are still low enough, then especially a lot of like kind of the snack foods and that kind of a lot of the newer keto friendly things that are brands that are out there. And some people are like, oh no, but that's made with 1 gram of sugar. Well, you know, if 1 gram of sugar keeps me on track, then so be it. I'm going to enjoy it. And it's not, you know, something that I'm going to eat every single day necessarily. So just kind of be flexible with it, listen to your body, and enjoy it, embrace it as a lifestyle change and not view it as a diet.
Yeah. Awesome. So what about in a situation where like you're on the go and you have to eat something quickly because you need the fuel, you need the energy, you know, it's time to eat. What's your quick go-to meal then for a keto?
My quick stuff are nuts. I do a lot of, whether it's almonds or macadamia nuts. They're easy to keep a bag of them in my purse, and I can munch on them. It gives me that crunchy feeling that I miss from chips because I am a chips and dip person for sure. So that kind of gives me that salty, crunchy. I can take it with me anywhere. It doesn't require refrigeration. So that's kind of the one thing that I do.
So nuts are your go-to. Okay, cool. Anything else that's kind of like a staple for you?
One of the things that I do a lot is every week I try to make a big batch of some sort of kind of like dip. Usually party dips are good for that. Buffalo chicken dip or spinach artichoke dip. A lot of those are by themselves don't really have any, they're very keto. They are high fat. They've usually got a lot of protein in them and there's no carbs. So as long as you're eating that with something like vegetables or pork rinds or something like that, instead of dipping chips and crackers into them, it's super keto. You feel like you're not dieting and you're not depriving yourself because
it tastes good.
Snack, it tastes delicious. So I like to make a big batch of that at the beginning of the week, and then that will be my snack for the entire week. So if I'm, watching TV and I'm hungry, then I'll go heat up some buffalo chicken dip with veggies and stuff. And I don't feel like I'm on a diet at all. Not depriving myself. It tastes delicious. And same thing goes when you go to social functions. A lot of times those things are there and they're served with crackers and chips. So instead I'll get vegetables and eat it with that. And while everyone else is having their 2 little bites of it, I can chow down on it and not.
So they're filling up on the crackers with 2 bites of the.
Exactly. And I'm like, well, I'm going to fill my plate up with this buffalo chicken dip.
It's such a funny, like, contrast, isn't it?
Yes,
cool.
It is.
Awesome. All right. So what is a piece of advice that you would leave our audience with as far as how to keep their commitment to this ketogenic lifestyle? What's the piece of advice or the parting advice that you'd like to leave our audience with?
Just extend yourself grace and know that you don't have to be perfect all the time. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Start
where you're at, right?
Yeah, do the best that you can. And if that's not perfect, that's all right. Try to be better every day. Jump in and don't worry about everything being absolutely perfect all the time, because that's not real. That's not real life. It's not going to be.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I think that's really good advice, because it's so hard. Sometimes we watch these people who, are teaching principles of ketogenic living, and they may never cheat, and they are very stringent in that. And so it sometimes keeps us from even starting, because we think,
yes, absolutely,
we're not going to get there. So start where you're at. It's a work in progress, and you'll reach your health goals, whatever they might be. Right.
Exactly. Yep.
Cool. All right. So tell us again, what is your Instagram handle where they can find you, Denice?
It is keto_fat_2_fit. And you'll find me there. I post a lot of food. That's the majority of what I post. Stuff that I'm eating, whether it's stuff that I've made, recipes. When I go out, I like to post, going out for dinner, here's what you can get.
Ideas, inspiration.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Awesome. So go follow her there on Instagram, everybody. So thanks for joining us today, Denice. Appreciate your insight and your wisdom, and I love what you're sharing over on your Instagram account.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.